I'll call this meeting to order. Call with Sam, join me for the pledge, if you would please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you to everybody for joining us for the meeting, council meeting today. It's June's council meeting. I do want to point out that we do have two members absent tonight, so that we do have a quorum present. So we'll go ahead and get started with on the agenda on the approval of the minutes. I assume everybody's had a chance to read both of them. We'll just take motions one at a time, but let's do the regular meeting on May 10th, if we would, please. If there's any discussion, corrections.
Motion approved.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion from Andy to approve the regular minutes from the meeting on May 10th. I have a second by Todd. All in favor of that motion, raise your hands. Motion passes unanimous. That would be that one. We also need the approval of the minutes from the special meeting from May 18th. Again, I assume everybody had a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
Any? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept these minutes from the special meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Matt has made a motion to approve the minutes from the special meeting on May 18th. Do I have a second? I'm allowed to make a second.
You're allowed to use that.
I'll second. I was there. All right. So I second that motion. All in favor of the motion, raise your hands, please. Okay, that passes unanimous. 5-0. Okay. New business? There's no old business, new business? Mr. Bob, you're up.
Good evening.
Good job. That's fine. Yes.
I spoke with the state auditor's office this afternoon, and they tell me that, well, this won't do you a lot of good, but they're going to get us updated wagering tax numbers for June tomorrow. We do have updated numbers for what the casino did for the last 2 months, and they're on a sheet that you have in your stack there. That's new information from last month's meeting. Tells us a little bit. Nothing's really changed. It's pretty steady with what has been going on, though. And it hasn't really made any big movements to the number at the bottom of the page, which is what I've been watching, just kind of seeing what, as we get to the end of the year, what the hit's going to be. And I mean, basically, we're looking at about $500,000 down if everything stays the way it is.
So we're moving.
At the end of the year. So it should be getting a little better as the year goes on. And, you know, like I said, when we get to the end of July, we're going to know just about everything.
At $500,000 down
Compared to last year. Yeah.
Last year was 7.5.
Last year was,
Yeah.
7.5. Was what you actually had after you did your 10%
Sent to the other counties.
to the other counties.
Okay. So did it end up coming in an 8? Total? Was it 8 total?
Would have been a little bit more than 8 total. And then of course
And that always been the number that we.
Yeah, 8 was always, it's usually the target that we aim for. And it's, so, you know, we were afraid last year we weren't going to hit it. We're definitely not going to hit it this year. I mean, unless, you know, they have a couple of really good months sometime in the fall.
No, gambling fever, it may hit.
Some of the reason because of the road work.
I think a lot of it's because of the road work and probably the economy too, but you know, the road work is a big piece of it. I think
Some of it.
we probably don't realize, you know, just based on all the different places that their customers come from, how big of a wrench that throws into business down there.
We've got 42 to open now, so maybe that'll help. Yeah, I was on today. Yeah.
And one bridge is coming along pretty good at Markham too. I mean, they're really hammering that.
Fairview Road
second
back
part,
open.
Fairview Road
So
back
that-
open, yeah. So, I
I was
mean,
driving through the creek.
so,
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah, I think we're heading the right way there, I think. So,
The one on your wagering tax number on here, that's the one that shows you 17% down. When we get new numbers for June, that number is gonna get a lot better. You got to check that for over $1 million in June of 2021 on your wagering tax, just because of some things that happened earlier in that fiscal year. That's gonna drop off of your comparison numbers after in July, so that'll make that 17% drop into, it'll look more like the number above it. It'll be like probably 5 or 6 percent. It'll come more in line once that kind of works its way out of the numbers. Anybody have any questions about any of this?
You said you'll get the number tomorrow, John?
Yeah, I'll send everybody an updated sheet when I get the new numbers, and of course, Gail will get the money. They'll come with that too.
Have you had any conversation with Peter, anybody down there?
I've had a couple conversations with them over the last couple of weeks, and it's slow, but they're not surprised. I mean, I think they're kind of waiting to see what the summer and fall bring. And there's a lot of competition out there.
I've been down there 3 or 4 times in the past month and a half. They look busy.
they
They look busy.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Thanks, John.
Thanks.
all right, John, thank you very much. Okay. Well, next we have our human resources individual, person, Leanne.
All right, thank you very, very much. What I have in front of you all is basically an ordinance, and I know this is a council meeting, but I wanted you to see it, go through it and approve it. It's an ordinance establishing the internal control standard and the materiality threshold for county government, so that we get compliant with Indiana Code 5-1-1-1-27. Our threshold basically is set at $500. If an error of any materiality is made over $500, we have to self-report. Under $500, SBOA, it's just fix the mistake. This also does require the legislative body of each political subdivision to make sure everyone's trained in this. I'll be pulling after the commissioners sign off on it, I'll be pulling the SBOA training video and material straight off the SBOA website and getting it out to everybody so that we can train our people. And then we'll, of course, keep the records of training in the auditor's office, which have to be done yearly. Gail has a button she clicks in Gateway to certify that everyone's been trained.
I go for council and commissionership.
It goes for to keep us safe, I recommend it goes for everybody. Proactively. I think the worst mistake we can make, knowing we've got dinged since 2018 for not having this, is saying, well, I don't have to be trained in that. Well, we might as well do more than get caught with less, if that makes sense.
Do you have records showing that this was ever done here? I know you're back to 2018, but have we ever done this? Every individual in this county has for the IC code. I didn't hear you.
No, sir.
2018 is what we were hit with on the audit, so we.
So this has been in effect since 2015, and this county has never done this.
Yes, sir.
So on Gateway,
Right,
every
that
year, the auditor has to sign that little check mark you're talking about. What did we put? We have no idea what we put?
No, sir.
Just left blank or what?
It
Can't
could've
leave it
been.
blank.
Could have been, I don't know. I mean, every year when the State Board of Accounts comes in, they get wrote up for it. The commissioners get wrote up for it and nothing's been done.
What happens with being wrote up?
You can Cost is great. I mean, we're
We're not doing anything about it.
We should do
I think we should do something about it.
Just have penalty pay.
It could cost us.
Right.
So I'm sure the commissioners are well aware that everybody, no exceptions, because the way it reads is all elected, all officers, all department heads, all employees.
You work for this county? Absolutely. Yes, yes. I'll do an in-service and have just an in-service sign-off sheet. Yep. I'm trained, I understand, and that's good enough. It's kept at the auditor's office. That's great. Next year, we'll just incorporate it in our training matrix that's made with our insurance company.
Most offices have something in their office within themselves. I mean, it's just not wrote down. It's not an ordinance. They have internal controls, dual controls. I mean, in my office, I don't do everything.
Mhm.
You know, Yvette gets the claims, I sign off on the claims, Gail does the bank reconciliation. We don't, that is internal controls. Do we have that wrote down anywhere? No,
So you don't have any documentation.
not unless it's in.
We're
book
gonna
that
start
I have.
documenting it, so we're gonna get us some, well, it starts with this.
Starts with that, yes. I mean,
And
it's-
by having this document before the auditor comes back, well, we have a plan in place. We're gonna get dinged, but we're sorry, we're gonna do better.
Do you have a deadline for the training to be completed by?
It's 30 days after it goes into effect. So as soon as the commissioners sign off on that, I'm gonna send just a broadcast to everybody. Here's the link. What does everybody want to do for training? What does everyone recommend we do? What works best for everyone?
So what does that entail? I mean, for training?
It's watching a 20-minute video from the State Board of Accounts website.
Gotcha.
That's what she recommended. She said probably 90% of the counties do that.
that was the letter that was in this past month.
What do you think, man?
I think we gotta,
No,
I'm amazed.
we got it. I
We
think
got it. We don't have a choice.
Yeah, but
I'm just amazed that
Never
we,
been done.
since 2015, nobody's ever
I
done
didn't
this.
know it existed.
That's the two of us. That's two of us. Didn't know. Didn't know, so.
If you guys are good with it, this is the master copy.
Do we want, I think we ought to have enough down, but
I-
we should
I-
support
okay.
this ordinance.
Yeah.
I support it 100%, but I don't think we vote on an ordinance.
No, we're not voting to pass it, we're just,
Acknowledge.
that-
I mean-
Yes, well, all you're doing is acknowledge.
This
The
is-
commissioners are the
If
ones
you
that
go
file the
to-
final approval.
Page 4, section 5,
yep,
it states out that was reviewed and approved by the Board of Commissioners on that date and the Switzerland County Council on this date. Pat McGrath looked at this and blessed this yesterday, the way it was written.
And the fact that we haven't never done an IC code ever, I think it behooves us as both legal bodies of the county to say, we recognize it, and to Andy's comment just 2 seconds, and we acknowledge we're going to get this training done.
Sign to this, that what it says.
You guys,
Yes,
you
the
are
master
adopting it.
copy I gave you.
Commissioners are gonna vote on it.
yes, Commissioner John vote on it.
Council is going to adopt it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign it too, and we go, I'm sure, I do wanna go ahead and have a vote on this.
As long as we're not voting, or.
We're not voting to approve, we're just voting to bless. Let's-
Like
let's
AT,
say-
voted to bless
We're
it
voting
with
to bless it.
So I'll make a motion to acknowledge, the internal control standards and the materiality threshold for Switzerland County government.
So I've got the motion on here from Matt that we're blessing this ordinance. I'm not going to spell all that out.
Yeah, you
That
got
we're acknowledging it. I'm looking for a second.
I'll second.
Todd second that.
I do have some further discussion. I just want to ask a
Okay,
question.
I'm sorry.
So it states here that the Board of Commissioners reviewed on June 19th. That's
It has not happened. No, it.
that happens Monday.
Okay.
Hopefully. They may not have their meeting. There's two not gonna be there, I think. So they may not.
One, there's two. Okay. Well,
Okay, I have a question. I just realized. The first page, it has July 12th, 2023.
That's when I put it together and sent it over to the attorney.
Today's June. July hasn't been there. Not yet.
I wish it
I'll
was.
fix the first page.
I just didn't see that. I've been.
I'll fix those. No tax it neither.
Get that far.
I'll fix the first page. I'll take care of it.
The date was,
Today's the
I
14th.
see,
Yeah.
the lawyer,
They acknowledge that.
now,
I mean, you guys don't feel comfortable signing off on it tonight until after the commissioners do, that's
fine.
your prerogative, but
I mean,
Our page says June 14th, 2023.
Yeah.
If she's gonna change this before the commissioners meeting.
it'd be,
It's already changed. I have it pulled up on my laptop.
well, I was like, what, why did we say July? I couldn't think of it.
Exactly.
All right,
we good, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to, that we're blessing this ordinance as it's written. We're not approving it, we're just blessing, supporting it. Matt made the motion, I second. All in favor of that motion, please raise your hands. Okay, the blessing is unanimous, okay. And all, you're signing that now? Okay. Yeah, we got a copy over there. You seconded it? I thought I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Thank you. I'll get
Neither-
this.
You guys gotta learn to start kicking me here now. Come on. All right.
I'll do my needful.
All right. Next, okay, we're good.
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have Judge Coy, a request for additional funding. I don't see him present at this time.
Motion to table. Can we just table that? He's not here, we're gonna table it.
Did he get back with you about?
he told me he wasn't, I told maybe that he was
Just move it down,
the other
kick it
day.
down, kick the can,
I'll second that motion.
You don't really want to do that because
Yep.
we're,
kick it down the road.
I need an explanation to a
Yeah.
$35,000,
I agree.
5 months into the budget year. That makes no sense to
Did you
me.
guys get the transaction history that I sent you?
yes,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
emailed it to you.
they're at $145 balance.
Yes, they've got a bill for 2,200 over there sitting
That's-
there.
That's the only thing that concerns me, that they do have a bill in front of them.
They had, it in the beginning of the year, they had 25,000 and they spent 24,800 of it.
Their budget was 25 for this year, and they want to go up.
They've already ran through.
They've already went through it. It's for the juvenile detention that we knew, is my understanding, when we did the budgets last year, that these were gonna go up. And
There was-
this probably wouldn't cover it.
We're on 3 to 4 months of trying to get into a meeting, let's just,
He's probably not gonna come to a Wednesday night meeting.
What he was asking was, it was kind of phrased a little, so you want 35,000 for 2023 budget?
He wants 35,000 in addition to the 25 that he's already went.
Oh, wow. So,
He's, yeah, his budget for this year was $25,000 for that.
but he's
one
asking
fund.
for 35,000.
He's always been through that, yes.
He Randy's got the additional, the.
With just numbers with no
It's,
explanation.
I know I had it here somewhere. It wasn't in front of me, it was in
It
the
should
email.
be there, because I don't have it in front of me. It says order.
The order, yes, it's,
This is
Okay.
just a transaction history that I sent out to you.
yeah, right here's the order, right here.
Yeah.
Right there. That's that order around.
Yeah, it's easier to see than on my phone.
Yes, that's, we got that
I
correct.
can't see it.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yes. I did, I see that.
My master copy.
It's laying over here.
I mean,
it's just an additional appropriation, it's not like any executive order or any.
no,
No,
it's a request for additional appropriation.
Email explanation?
what,
Did he have the email with an explanation?
for what?
Why?
Why he needs it, or why
If
he
he
couldn't
can't
be
make
here?
it,
No, I didn't ask him. Nobody asked anybody else why they're not here, so, no, I didn't ask him, sorry. I
You
didn't
did ask him to
about it.
attend, he said no.
Yes, I did.
It's still 35,000. It's a
I don't
little
want to give
excessive.
that much, that's excessive.
Well, I mean, it's gonna, the need is gonna be there unfortunately with the juveniles in the detention rate, and the rates are going up. The bill that's over there now, I believe, is for 10 days at $200 a day.
So
So,
this,
and you just.
So what's
when
the
you
cause
call-
of the 35? I mean, is it,
That's
we
just what
just
they're-
blown out the number of juvenile issues?
Instead of
on us?
asking for more in 3
In this
months, he's
paper, though?
gonna What's that?
Office supplies, isn't that what it is?
No,
No.
no, that, the first one was totally wrong. They submitted the wrong one.
What?
Submitted it.
Yeah, it's juvenile detention is what this is for.
I guess I could have read that one a little better.
No,
It's for.
Hey, Brian,
One cover.
Well, I mean, the influx of juvenile detentions has gone through the roof in the last
Yeah.
year and a half. And housing in juvenile is extremely expensive. I mean, it's got to the point where, a couple months ago, there was a juvenile transport, middle of the evening, and that kid, we had to haul him to Vincennes.
Mhm.
I mean, they call these juvenile detention centers. Obviously, you start with the closest one and go down the road, but, I mean,
so Brian, I mean, I know you're not speaking on behalf of the court, but so
what you're.
did all of a sudden, everything, all the costs go up in March and here we are?
Yeah, I don't know who adjusts. I mean, obviously, the detention centers.
I mean, we did a terrible job of budgeting here. If you're
Yeah, I don't.
100% loss and you got 100, that's,
Yeah, the only thing I can tell you is juvenile detentions have risen and it is very expensive.
And like you said, you don't get to choose which one, it's just like. choose the one
Well,
you
like I
want.
said, we're sending deputies in middle of the night.
We would if you build one. We would if you build one.
They might.
I was just told that it was asked for more last year, and this is what you guys gave. I don't know, I wasn't in on the budget meetings, I shouldn't even repeat what I was
Yeah,
told, so
who's got the paper on it? That's right.
I put it right here. 'cause
You got it right there?
So he
Or
asked
that
for more
request.
last year for some budget. We didn't do it.
he's
No, we
given
gave him money.
25,000.
that, I don't know where that statement came from.
Well, I remember him mentioning, I thought he said at some point, one meeting that was gonna be something he thought was gonna increase. I actually do.
I think I remember him saying something.
I remember something about that. I mean, I'm not comfortable with giving them the whole 35,000 right now, but I think we need to put a fire out and throw something out, $5,000-6,000 right now. And then, again, ask him to come in here and help explain. it.
Well, I think we maybe take care of what's outstanding at this point and then get some further details.
I'd go down, I would agree with that. Pay the month out, have them come to the next meeting.
Or maybe have a special session, but
Yeah, if he can't come up within 5 o'clock, then what, I'm willing to have a special meeting with it's worth it, personally, if that's what it takes.
You are wrong.
So are you withdrawing your motion to table it then? Is somebody gonna make a motion for,
I'm
To
not
approve.
making a motion.
or what are we doing?
That's what we want.
I'll make a motion to pay off the outstanding balance.
To pay the outstanding bill that's due.
Yeah,
The
20,
22.
22.
$200. Okay, we have a motion on the floor then.
Where's that gonna come out of?
It can either come out of general fund, yes or no, or we can take it out our, it's the ceiling. Don't matter.
I think we should vote on that when we vote on these things.
On where it comes out of.
Yeah,
We can put that in motion.
let's just see where it comes from. Get it from.
You wanna know where you can get the money from?
yeah, where are we gonna get the money from? General fund.
General
I'm
fund?
gonna say John.
Cena?
Let's take out general fund, yeah. Okay, so there's a motion on the floor then by Mike. Pay off $2,200 out of the general fund. Do I have a second on that? I'm gonna make a second on that. More discussion.
Well, I agree. I think it needs to be paid. If we owe it, paid.
Are all in favor of the motion of paying that off out of general fund made by Mike, second by me? Raise your hands. Opposed? Okay, it's 4-1. Okay,
So he'll,
That brings it current, right?
that will bring, yeah.
that'll
once
bring
pays
us balance, yeah, he'll pay him to pay his bill. He may get one next week though, I don't know, but that's another,
Right, that's another issue. And-
that's
and
another story for another day.
Yes, yes.
We're at the end of Q2 for this year, then.
We can resubmit another,
Okay, we
Request.
reach out
So-
to the first special meeting.
35K might be a little inflated, maybe not.
maybe not, yeah. I mean, we heard from Brian there about that, so I mean, it's, so.
Well, and that's like, it's no different making arrests with adults. It's out of Nobody has control of that.
Yeah, you
You know,
can't.
if we could get a call in the next 10 minutes to go hook up the juvenile home, who knows? It's just out of their control.
It's unpredictable.
My thing is, we've gone on 3 months, 4 months now of trying to get him here just to explain.
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
this is
It's
the
not-
third time that they find those shots.
My issue is you budgeted for, I get that we may have more juveniles, but you need to explain
Explain.
doubling your budget.
And I don't disagree with you, one iota on that. but-
Well, let's request him to have a special meeting, like you said, maybe he'll do something like that to accomplish. For some of us.
Gail, could you reach out to him then?
Sure.
To Judge Floyd and just see what he can do as far as when he would be available. Preferably sometime in the evenings, like 5 or 6, something like that, just see if he would be open to sitting down and discussing this with us further. Fair enough, everyone?
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, the way the revenue's going this year, it's something that we'll have to look at for next year's budget. And it may have to come out of something else.
Mike, it's not just the revenue, and I agree with you, I'm concerned about the revenue from the boat, but just this year already, out of negligence, for no better word, you know, we lost 30,000 on the prosecutor's office when Ryan gave his January, and then we find out we're 150,000 lost out of SER, and we're only talking about June.
Yeah.
$180,000. We gotta make that up.
All the monies we could have had. Okay, well, okay, that topic is done. Next is Jamie Peters, but I don't see.
I had a note on my desk that he was gonna be here to discuss the sheriff's office payroll, and
He's not here. Okay.
I wasn't.
Well,
So, I mean,
You know what's up with Jamie?
I don't know what's up with Jamie. I just had,
I've seen you today for about 5.
yeah, that is all the note said, so.
well, we'll skip that for now, in case he shows up. He might be around late, who knows, so. Okay, I do want to go ahead. Next is schedule our budget meeting for the month of August. And honestly, folks, I mean, we do an all-day budget. It's what I've been accustomed to my last 2 years on council here. So we usually do it on a Thursday. I would like to do it. Because I would recommend that we would do it August the 10th. Because the 9th is our regular scheduled meeting. Started about 8 o'clock.
I can't, my boys got soccer practice.
Okay. All right.
Please get me out of soccer practice.
They'll start, it's not funny. Started at 8, break at noon, probably get back at 12:45 and stay here until we get it done. You know, I mean, is there any objections to doing it that day? August, you're not kidding. I was fine, you know.
Not fast enough. But I'm good with it.
I mean, again, I don't think we need to put a vote on that or anything like that, do we? I don't think so. So, Gail, I'll leave that up to you, scheduling everybody in whatever order, everything needs to be done. Just like I say, start about 8 a.m., break at noon, be back 12:45, we'll finish it up whenever we get done. I think last year we got done, what was it, by 45, 6, something like that. Year before, it was more like about 7 or 8, so. Okay, so August 10th, 8 to noon.
I'll either be here all day or I'll have to, or probably show up late.
I'll be there. Closing. Okay. Okay, so August the 10th it will be then. If, yeah, no issues.
A long time away.
No, but we're planning. That's what we're doing. Planning ahead, so. Okay. Okay, next on the agenda, we have a review of issues that has been brought to our attention. And mainly, how do I want to say this? Is just, it was the mayor's night. And again, we're not going to mention employees' names that were involved. We're just going to discuss what happened, how it happened, or what's been done to fix it or correct it going down the road. You know, the amount of monies that was involved, and have we reclaimed it or got paid back, or
Where'd that email come from?
that email came from a commissioner, the original email.
What I'm looking for right now.
Yes, we all were copied on that email. So, first issue, there was about the health insurance being paid to a part-time employee who was full-time but went to part-time. So, yeah, is there anything you can say?
Well,
what
this
happened?
was done prior to me
Yeah.
coming into office.
Mhm.
So as far as her going to part-time, I don't know when she went to part-time or when they went to part-time rather.
November 2022.
But, well, November and 22, that's when her benefits stopped. That's when her benefits were terminated. So I don't know if that's when she went terminated.
But she continued to get health insurance. Well, this person continued to get.
There
health
hasn't been any claims done on that. Susie's canceled the insurance, and the insurance that was paid was standard insurance. How they got their information for the employee, I do not know, because standard is brand new dental insurance. Nobody signed up for it. They did not sign up for it, so I don't know. The money was paid,
Mhm.
but we recouped the money.
We
For that
have
specific-
recouped all the money, Gail, on this?
Well, they got a couple more that they have to refund us, but that's just how they are gonna refund us.
We haven't recouped all the money.
We probably got 2 more payments.
Of how much?
About maybe $31. 22.92 and 7.05.
It's just being
29.
So that was taken care of then, right?
First.
I mean,
Do you get an?
I can't tell you guys why they're doing this because I see the emails that Yvette sends to these people. This isn't MedBen, this is Standard and Guardian, I believe. Guardian is the extra life insurance that we have. And then we have to,
Sounds like it's just showing.
you sign on to BYNU and then you go in there and you terminate them. And she has made several phone calls. I've been in the office when she's made the phone calls.
Their fault, insurance,
It is their fault. I mean, what else do you do besides, you know,
and they're the ones that's reimbursing the money,
Yes,
right? So
they are.
it's not- okay.
they
They
put
validate
this
their rate.
on the bill.
This one's taken care
They
of.
don't give us a check. They're not cutting a check to us.
Yeah, move on to the email.
So
It's reimbursed on this one.
on the next bill, we get credit for it on the next bill.
I mean,
Will you just make sure that we know when this has been paid in full?
So, July or August it probably would be, but yes, I will.
Okay.
just one dumb other question on like this. I mean, there
But
is
you
a
gotta
notice-
remember, we pay a month ahead on these.
Right. I mean, there is a notice given from like department heads, elected leaders, and all that. If somebody does go from part-time, full-time, vice versa. I assume there's gotta be something where the office is notified.
Our benefits being transferred over to,
Absolutely, and ADP will definitely be tracking this.
You know, I
So-
think the
Eliminate
ADP,
some of that.
Oh, it will eliminate 99% of this,
that's
so
what, and that's
the
what I'm
ADP
thinking.
implementation cannot happen soon
I'm
enough.
not trying to be negative, but, you know,
No,
floods into it and you,
I understand. No, we're just all gonna be open and transparent.
Yeah.
with everything, what we're doing.
as far as the ADP taking care of it, I think it'll be a lot better, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but it is kind of a pain in the.
It's okay, there's a learning curve there, so.
number 2.
Okay, I'm with Andrew on that. Number 2 is the overpayment on pay. And that was when an employee switched in from hourly to salary. I guess there was some overtime pay.
They did not go from hourly to salary.
Oh, they did not.
No. They were a brand new employee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, it was a brand new
What?
employee.
Who's a brand new employee, but got overtime
But-
pay as a salary.
Yes.
How much over what? You know,
How many hours?
no, how much was the pay over?
1,300. It was,
$1,300 over what she should have got paid?
yes.
Okay.
So does the county have exempt and non-exempt salary employees?
Yes.
Maybe both. So there's,
So
it's,
they are an exempt, they're not. Is that right?
Yeah.
you did.
But, you know, they were given a raise when they were,
Yeah.
I keep saying he, when they were hired in, they were given a raise. And I did not know that she was given this raise until I seen it, her salary was being done, or the payroll was being done. And then the overtime was on there by the payroll clerk in that department. And
How does
we
overtime?
were asked, it was asked, but nobody was given a direct answer, so that's what
Who
she
was
was
asked?
paid.
Who's this?
We weren't gonna mention
Her.
names.
Yes,
That individual was asked?
she was asked the
Okay.
second time. And
So
she
you
said,
didn't-
absolutely not.
Okay, so you didn't get the paperwork is what you're saying to acknowledge
The raise.
the raise.
It's still not
She
signed
didn't get a raise, your offer letter was
Her offer
given.
letter. My bad. It was a raise from what the initial salary ordinance was done.
How does the salary employee get overtime calculated?
They,
They don't.
they can't.
Right, but.
A salary employee can get comp time, but they cannot if they're non-exempt.
Right. So how was she given overtime?
Well,
pay?
because she was on a bus working. And it's the payroll clerk that did the payroll, did not do it. Right.
The amount was $1,300. Has it been paid back? at this point?
She's gonna have her second payment done this May.
That's the part I want to talk
So
about.
the 1330 and some change. I don't have it wrote down.
This is coming back from the employee.
Yes. So when the discussion was had and we found out that this overtime was not, she offered to pay in full. So we made the offer of payments. That's a nice chunk to come out of your check. So, and she's like, I'll do whatever you guys want me to do.
Yeah, but Gail, this is the part that I'm gonna say, this makes no sense. Why would we, if we shorted an employee, they would want that money, I would want my money immediately, within the next pay. It is the standard within the industries. And government also, because there's no rule, but we're gonna hopefully get an ordinance. But she had the 1,300, you just said she offered to pay it back, and we turned and gave her a payment plan. Why would we do that?
I'm guessing.
We're not
that was
passing out free
access-
money,
Okay, then I will call her tomorrow and tell her she needs to pay.
but
it
that
in
doesn't
full.
answer my question.
But
Do
I'm
we
guessing just to be civil, to be nice.
I'm not,
When you're not, when you didn't get your paycheck, the county owes you that money, so that money's sitting in the kitty where she may have spent this money for all I know. I don't know her financial situation.
well,
So-
Gail, I guess,
And there isn't a payment plan. There isn't no rule to follow. Nowhere have I ever read, where's the payment schedule?
so who made that rule?
I made that decision as the auditor.
Okay, you made the decision as the auditor. All I'm asking is this. So when we look at overpayments, and I think we're probably gonna see more of this, I hope not too. But we can't sit back and create a loan sheet on behalf of the county.
I think it's,
It was a loan sheet, it was a screw up.
It was a screw up, but then we said, we had the employee tell us, we'll give you the money back, but the auditor's office said, that's
Who
nice.
cares?
you
The
want
money's
to-
coming back, what does it matter? I mean,
What's your,
county goes to broker for $1,300 a day?
did you see this, which we all approved?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about this? This came out of the commissioner's office. It didn't
It's
come out of
coming
the
back.
auditor's
It's
office.
coming back, what the hell does it matter? What does it matter? It's coming back.
It is coming back. You gotta look at,
That's-
there's a bank give
It's a
you,
waste of time.
it's not a waste of time.
No, it's a waste of time to talk to you. Just, let's move on.
What? It's a waste of time talking.
let's keep it simple.
Well,
I'm not,
It's just,
Our-
we're being a
Let
dead
me say something, let me say, I agree, there needs to be something in place that says, okay, this needs to be paid back in full.
Right.
At this time, within the next pay period, or whatever.
That's what she did.
do we have something from her that says this is gonna be paid? She signed a document.
I have an email that is her electronic signature.
No, I meant either we make the decision to let them pay back in payments, which I wouldn't suggest.
Well, let's vote on it right now.
You can't pass.
You can't.
ordinance.
No.
This is gonna be an ordinance.
So it's stretching it out for just 2 payments to pay you back.
Well, if it's coming from the commissioners, then why are we even discussing it?
Because we're rules and procedures, and as the fiscal body of a county, that's
They're
our
rules and
job.
procedures.
No, we are. Fiscal body is us. She is the fiscal officer of the county. We are the fiscal body. You've
That
been
would
doing
be
this
her-
job
that
for
would be
like
her
7
fault.
years.
Here's
You
what
should know that we're the fiscal body.
Here's what benefits her too. If we have a policy in place, she says to that person, you have
That's
to pay
right.
this back in full, and it doesn't come back on her saying, you know,
I agree, we're,
Yeah,
that's
we're out of the industry,
So,
if you want to pay her.
so I mean, what we probably should have done is she should have said, well, I gotta talk to your councilman first. So, and then she'd bring it to the council, and then how long ago was this? When did you go through this?
A month ago,
Yeah.
6 weeks.
So we could have tabled it, you probably should have said, let's just take it to council, because you gotta have their blessing on there. 'Cause if you don't have their blessing, it's not good.
Agree.
But, the money is gonna be, got one more payment, right? That's why this.
Just made one payment, she's gonna make 2. I
It's gonna
can
be-
talk to her and get it paid in full. I was just, there comes a point where we're all supposed to be getting along and working together
you're-
and agreeing. instead
That'll
of
never
saying,
happen here,
You need
never.
to do this and you need to do that.
That will
That's
never
where,
happen.
You have
that's where you
rules.
go. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have
Well, for
rules
this-
and regulations,
but-
but
apparently there isn't a rule. There
Yeah,
isn't a rule.
well, there is a rule.
There's a rule.
Here's where the rule gets crossed, before it even got to us. It's supposed to be audited and verified by the auditor. That's what the auditor's job, it says that. So the auditor's office is the part where we miss that. I get that.
what
It was just a
to
common
me-
mistake. That's fine.
It was
But then we turn around and my logic with watching fiscal is you gotta get that money back.
Yeah, and all I'm saying.
We
is
are.
We need to put a policy in place that says, if this does happen again, Gail can reach out to this person and say, hey, it's gotta be paid back in full.
Instead of pay period.
Within a certain amount, yes.
Most,
I have an I'm sorry, not to interrupt and speak
No.
out of turn, but I actually do have an Indiana code from 2022 that deals with wages, hours, and benefits, and does discuss overpayment of wages. I'll send it out to everyone in an email so that they may review, and then I can formulate a policy that is compliant with this. So we have something going forward. It's Indiana Code 22-2-6-4.
that sounds
Is that
good.
okay?
I like that.
Doesn't tell you how.
22-6-4.
I think that
Yes, sir.
would be a decision that we can probably make ourselves. There's probably nothing in there that states it has to be come back full or in payments or however. Does it?
Let me just send this email out to everyone, and I want everyone to research it and read it and interpret it. And then maybe we can have some discussion around it.
I think that's fair enough.
Yes, sir. But it does say an employer must give an employee 2 weeks' notice before the employer may deduct under this section any overpayment of wages from the employee's wages. So, and then Section A does say 25% of the employee's disposable earnings for that week, and it goes long. It's very long, and there are a lot of stipulations in this. I just want everyone to read it and research it
Can't take it all back.
and come back. There's so many things that can be applied here. So let's just look at it and talk about it and then get it in writing.
Agreed.
And ADP will
You
definitely,
sending this to us, Leanne?
I'm doing it right now.
Yes, and again, I think ADP, like we're talking about, would fix this problem.
When does that come up?
I'll be able to export their progress to a Gantt chart on June 26th. I have a lot of manual work to do this coming week. Hopefully kickoff is October 6th and sooner if we can get there.
Thank you, Gail, for catching it, and thank you for getting the money back.
Well, I mean, it happened again the second week and it really, this isn't right. And then she came in and that's when we spoke to her. Because going back to the payroll coming into my office and I'm supposed to audit them, I do go and I look at them, look what it is, she's got a question, what have you. But I'm not gonna call up and say, hey, you knocked down Joe Blow for 5 hours, is that right, on every person? These are my fellow colleagues, my fellow elected officials that I trust wholeheartedly, so I shouldn't have to question their payroll.
Right, and the department
they've
heads
been
should be
doing.
signing off on.
They
it.
do sign off on them.
Yeah, so it is, yeah.
And then I sign off on them. And then the commissioners sign off on the claims, so mistakes happen, even with ADP, mistakes are
disagree.
gonna happen.
Mistake
So,
happen. You're right, Gail.
You know-
It's,
This is,
Jeez.
we can go on.
all right. We're gonna put that one to rest right now. Okay. Next was the public defenders.
This is again, this is the public defenders, same scenario,
As the first one.
the first one, yep.
It's
It's
not.
been taken
med
care
bin.
of. It's not MedBin, it's standard, which is the new dental insurance. Been taken care of and over,
So no claims were filed while
claims
they
have
were,
been filed on none of these people,
and we are getting all the money back.
yes.
So
And that's-
I'm
that's
asking,
again,
you're
that's
pointing
the
blame
same
at the
thing.
health insurance company on this?
Yes, I would, because they, when you call and you terminate, when you go onto BYNU and you're terminating an employee, how many steps do you have to have and how
You
many
have-
times you gotta do it?
You haven't had this problem with MedBin, you've only had this problem with the standard people.
Yes. It's, well, it's BYNU, we sign on and that's got the standard, that has the vision, that has your guardian, that has your life insurance, it has all that on there.
They're like a third party then.
And again, you're talking, that was $13.65. About $35 on those two. but we got it.
Have you had conversation with them? I mean, this is two of these that we've evidently reported on, and they're not taking it off. That seems to be a lot.
No, I have on my end, the front end with the account managers. They were terminated. It's the back end, from what I understand, that the insurance company was billing for them. So from what I understand, they were terminated, but they were being billed for. So,
And I don't even know how they got these employees' information. This is a brand new company.
they were terminated in the systems, but they were being billed for on the invoices. From what I understood.
Are they confident in what we've got now? What employees are getting health insurance and what employees are not?
I haven't personally done an audit of that, so I
was gonna say Yvette does. She goes through and makes sure that everybody's.
I mean, there's no easy way to ask this question. So we've gone 5 months. We just found out about this. That means 4 months of non-auditing. How did we not catch it in the
She
first 4
has
months?
found out about it and she has.
So
but
she's
she
called,
has
was
found
calling.
out, and she has called them and emailed them. I mean, I don't know
Sit down
what
with
else.
Health insurance department, this company and say, what's
I
going
met
on?
with an
This
alternative.
isn't our
Yeah.
health, this is our dental and vision
Dental and vision.
and life.
I met with, an alternative provider that'll probably be bidding.
This is our first year with them, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many years do we have?
I mean, we had a contract with
If we're
strike
sending,
one.
if we're sending,
Strike two, strike three.
this is 2 of them that we supposedly sent the information on, and they continue to bill. That's not
That's not good.
No.
Okay.
Okay, we all good with that one?
Yep.
Okay. Next is with the sheriff's payment of benefits. Currently, there's something about an individual that was out on FMLA.
It was, Gail met with us, it was an overpayment, clerical mistake, and it's been paid back in full.
It was one now,
It
overpayment.
was a clerical mistake on somebody getting an extra pay
Right.
after coming back from FMLA. Mistake, it was overlooked, it's brought to our attention, and it's been paid in full.
It has been paid for.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody got any questions on that for Brian, Gail?
Found Jamie.
Yeah, I see, Jamie. I'm gonna go ahead and.
I have one question on
Yes,
this benefits, when you're talking about repayments and stuff. You have the highway department that they pay for their CDLs and they quit. And they're supposed to refund for their CDL license, for their classes or whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, does that go in repayment of that? Does that come into the same thing as this insurance here?
Come off their last check, shouldn't
They're
That's
under
good.
contract and I think it should.
It's supposed to come off their last check. That's the only opportunity you got to get it.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, my check is usually, if you resign or move on somewhere, my
Is
check.
that like over a year or over
Yeah.
5 years or like?
Look, you've been there 10 years, you're still getting that back.
After you have a certain time frame before they, if you quit within that time frame, you
Yeah.
gotta pay the county back.
Oh, got it.
So it did not come off the last check, so what's the policy there?
Yeah, how
Say
you,
that again.
It did not come off their last check, they just paid us like 2
If they
weeks ago.
quit, there's only one opportunity to get it. That's their last check.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
telling you how it happened, they only paid us about 2 weeks ago, so. I mean, I'm not trying to stir the pot for anybody else,
No,
but,
that's,
somebody's
I mean,
telling
that'd be,
me I'm not following
that'd
the
be
rule,
on
right?
Anthony
Then-
to notify. On that, right?
And I don't remember, they have to work either 2 or 3 years, and if they don't, then they have to pay it back. But I don't quote me on the terms.
Right.
But if they quit within the first X number of years, then they have to pay that back.
Who would look into that?
They did get paid back, but just recently.
or they get paid.
Oh, well, good news.
Yeah, if they didn't get paid on their last check, so.
But if he was no longer an employee and we missed it on the last check, he
Well,
could
their
have
last check probably wouldn't have covered it, so.
so I mean, he could have just said, or he or she could have just said, hand it back.
Mhm.
Could very easily, yes.
Mm.
Okay,
Just a question.
it would have to be last check, but yeah, like I said, if you don't catch it, we're at the mercy of the former employee, so. Okay. I'm good with the explanation. Thanks, Brian, for, doing that. Also, on here is, I think there was a question about, I guess we had a deputy recently left, and it's about severance pay on that.
Mhm.
It was actually a vacation time buyout,
Mhm.
which when the claim was turned in for that, we
Mhm.
received an email back from Yvette. She just wanted a breakdown of what it was, which Chris provided her with that.
It was just vacation time that was due now,
Yes.
that he had. So it's, I asked a dumb question, like how many, do you know right off how many weeks it was, just to, part
You
of
guys, the sheriff's office has a different personnel policy than we do as well. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. So their payout's a little different than what we do.
it was strictly vacation. He was doing his vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, so on this one, be the pain in the butt here. Did all the detail come with this before we made the payment? Did you request all the payment from the sheriff's office before the payment was made? Payment was made.
You know the answer. I did not. I did not.
I'm
answer until
asking,
that.
I'm not, because I know the answer doesn't mean the rest of council.
No, I did
knows.
not ask because I was not aware. I had to question my fellow
Okay,
elected
so
officer.
before we,
So going forward, it is noted. So just so you guys know, on this pay, I've got 2 that'll probably be coming out, one from the sheriff's office, one from the health department, and the health department's gonna be over $10,000 paycheck. So just to let you,
Severance.
yes.
Well, we had a second deputy, he left. I mean, his is gonna come due too, any unpaid vacation, but typically, like, kind of where Gail's going down, if we submit her a payroll voucher or what have you, say this vacation buyout, somebody's getting a few $1,000, whatever the number is. If that gets questions, that usually gets questioned when commissioners see the claims. I just keep referring back. Hey, I was-
Good question.
I never knew I called, so I mean, typically, like, I could just relate back when I was commissioner, we would get the claims, so 3 or 4 days before the meeting, I remember well, I'd go through them, I'd be like, hey, why is Joe Blow getting $3,000? I'd call Nancy, hey, Nancy, what's up with this? She'd explain it. I'd call the department head, hey, what's his name? They would say, hey, just like this deal, it's a vacation buyout.
And just to tell you why, typically that's around $2,700 a pay period, if I'm not mistaken. And this one was 6,700, and that's the reason I
Yeah,
questioned.
yeah, and I think we do need it's kind of like the perfect storm. You know, our policy, you get, say, 24 vacation days after you're there so long. Well, you've got a 90-day grace period to carry those over if you didn't get to use them. And basically that was put in effect because we run an office that we just can't close the jail for a day or two while everybody catches up on their vacation. All the deputies can stay home so they can burn vacation, dispatchers. So that mechanism was put in place. But if it falls just right, where I've still got a lot of my vacation days that carried over into the grace period, which your anniversary date kicks in. So what happens? My vacation days get renewed, and then I decide next week I'm gonna quit. I got a pretty good basket full of vacation time to pay out. So maybe that needs to be looked at, adjusted. You know, we are getting a little more staff than it used to be back in the day when that policy was put in place.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it should be, hey, you get X amount of vacation days, you use them or lose them within that window. You know, that's exactly what happened.
We got an HR director right here that, you know, you can rely on to help out.
So they wanted their anniversary,
I'm sorry.
they wanted their anniversary, they get all their vacation days, just pay all of them.
Yeah, when you land on your year anniversary, your vacation days renew. So if you carried over into that grace period,
That's how they do theirs.
Yeah.
that's how you end up with a pretty good pile of vacation days. And then on a whim, if that guy ends up saying, hey, I quit, I'm out, then we owe them those days.
I mean, it wasn't like the officer, that was the first officer we've lost. Not even this year, probably. That has gotten paid out, so I don't know why the question has arose.
Well, I guess the question I have, and you've already answered my question, but just to go back to what the issue is here. The detail didn't come with it. We paid the officer out $6,000 and there was no detail to it. So we just wrote a check for $6,000 on the basis that you signed a sheet that said.
Well, that's what I say, that's where the claims, and that's where this board comes into play, and that's what sounds like Jamie questioned it because he wanted to find out, no different than if we paid $100,000 for blacktop. You know, somebody sees a red flag, commissioners, then they go to Gail or the elected official or whoever and say, hey, what's up with this? And then there's, you know, an explanation. That's how it works.
That is how it works. And there is an IC code that states if you do not have detail with a warrant issued by, and a warrant is considered a check by the auditor's office, that it should not be paid. That's the rule. It wasn't done. All I'm asking is, hey, how do we fix this? I'm guessing we fixed it.
But if it was, you know, the amount was $6,000.
You already-
Voucher, how is that any different than any other payroll
Listen.
voucher?
If you just send over a voucher for $6,000, if I just ask for $6,000, and nobody questions why, and I just write me a check, you write me a check.
You said I
Then
was
how
about
is
to,
that different than any other payroll voucher?
I don't know.
You're a severance. I don't know if it did, but on a severance check, to Jamie's point,
Well, I mean,
once you cut that check, it's over.
I
You gotta make sure you're getting everybody paid, right?
mean, it's comp time that Navy do, there's.
Special session.
They don't get paid.
Vacation, right?
They
Overtime.
get paid
possibly.
Yeah,
vacation.
we should,
Over there.
on that final check, we don't have any.
I mean, it seems logical that there should be an explanation given on a
But
big
that's,
pipeline.
there again,
sure,
I knew
that
that he
explanation
was
went to the
quitting.
elected official, right?
yes,
It went-
I have it down. But hindsight, I knew that this officer was going, I knew we were gonna get a paycheck. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, they just wrote Brian an extra $10,000. That would draw me a red flag.
Right.
Right. Which she would
This
call
officer
me,
was leaving.
hey, is this right?
And so on, yeah. But instead, it just got carried away. It's taken care of. Going forward, we'll get the information.
And the good news is ADP takes all the guesswork out of it. I mean, not guesswork, there's a system there of checks and balances with ADP.
All right. Well, I'm done with that. I mean, I guess we're done with that. Okay, so, okay. Next is really, and I don't know, if we got here a discussion on the ordinance for retrieving dollars for overpayments or paying. I know we've been talking about that. I think
I
we're
think,
going,
I think
we're
we're
gonna
gonna see
wait
this
till-
from
yeah,
her and then.
we're gonna wait
I've
till-
already sent the email out for
Okay.
you guys to
So-
review the IC code, so everybody interpret it, and we can brainstorm and collaborate and
So
see
I-
how the policy should be written that works for everyone.
Now, if I am correct, I have the power to table that then. I don't have to take a vote on that or anything, so
You're good.
we're gonna table that. Okay, so we're gonna table number 6 about that until after we get a chance to read what Leanne's.
You were only discussing. it.
Right, well, I know, it's just, and that's all it was discussion, yeah, so.
What was it?
About a possible ordinance on like, and about like the overpayment, like how soon should we collect that? And in the real world, and I know, I understand what you did. I mean, you're trying to be helpful to an employee, but I mean, if I get overpaid, I've got to pay within one check. Okay, it's coming out of my next check.
If you get overpaid, you're gonna go to your,
And what I would do, because I'm selling.
nobody came to us until
you
we,
know,
after the fact,
I mean,
so.
So they did come to you and they realized they were overpaid, they probably don't use that.
Well, let's just not talk about the employee.
Yeah, right. we're
No,
not-
I'm just saying
Right.
that you're saying this is what I do and
No,
you
this,
gotta
no, this is,
remember, nobody came to us,
nobody came
so
to you, right? I
I'm
mean,
not pinpointing an
No,
employee
and that's
specifically,
fair.
I'm just saying.
I mean, if I had an extra zero behind my check, I'd be pretty happy, but then I know I'm gonna have to pay it back. Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go. So, all right, so, we'll let that one, set till next month.
Read the code and
And discuss. Okay. I want to loop back up now since, our commissioners, Jamie Peters is present. Jamie, is there anything now that you want to talk about here? You're on the agenda here. You know,
I don't know why I'm on the agenda. I didn't
I
ask to
have
be
a
put
note.
on the agenda.
I had the note that you asked to be on the agenda.
okay.
It was left in my office.
Me?
Yes,
No, you never got a note from me.
it was from Yvette that said Jamie wants to be on the agenda to discuss the sheriff's payroll.
No, I asked her all the questions that I had. I didn't ask to be put on the agenda.
Well, it was left on my board, so.
Okay.
That's an
Well-
easy one.
Hey, that's an easy one, and we've been discussing things, and so, I mean, I think we're answering questions, so.
Jamie, on topic, can I ask about the bridge construction? Any further developments on the bridges on Bennington Pike?
Only thing I can tell you is we're supposed to have the engineering work all completed by the second week of July. Then we'll have to send them out obviously for quotes. That'll probably take about a month. So at best, I'm gonna say it'll probably September. If we're lucky before anything starts happening. But, we should have the engineering work completed, scope work finished, by the second week of July.
We'll kind of expand on that. Have you used any of the money yet for that we appropriated, the $1 million, or we approved the same money been used?
The only thing that's been used, I'm aware of, is the engineering work, which was around $75,000.
All right. Okay. Well, I think we're moving right on through here. Board reports. We start on this side, right over here.
Nope, no meeting.
Okay, nothing there.
Our meeting.
Still on down.
Our meeting got canceled.
The meeting got canceled. Okay, I'll move it south. The Fire Chiefs Association, we haven't had anything. So at this time, I have nothing. So,
Same here,
no winning. No board reports.
Randy, Lisa was telling me in text that she's watching, she's good on ten, so I think you got it.
She's good too. Okay. And no announcements or anything. I have nothing right now at this point in time. So. Anybody else from the audience? Anybody got anything to? Okay, well. At this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Please, Pete.
Okay, Andy's made a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? Todd, second. All in favor of adjournment, please raise your hands. Meeting is adjourned. Hey, we sign off.
On the changes in it, we do.
Now, what I got is I'm cheating.